Oh, okay. Control, control, control. Welcome, welcome, lads. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the one of the best forex streams out here in the world today, where we break down everything. We break down charts. Sometimes we break down life. Everything's on the go. Just gotta make sure everybody gets the link here for today. I think we're gonna have a really, really good day today. I got a feeling we're gonna have a good day. It's the 1st of July. It's the start of the month. Just by looking at certain things over here, I'm going to try to see if certain things are correct. Certain things are correct. That's true. All right. Perfect. Systems are on the go and everything's working perfectly fine. So so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little breakdown here on JPY, and this is going to be a like high time frame breakdown. You know, we're going to break down. Oh, some people are saying I'm muted. All right, perfect. We're back. I'm back. Probably not muted anymore. Someone said it's the best live stream here in the world. Yes, exactly. So I guess the mic is working perfectly fine. All right, awesome. So looking on the daily, daily seems like we're moving up, right? Previous daily candle closed above this area over here, and it seems like we may continue to go up. So we're going to take a look at this on the 4-hour time frame right now. Looking on the 4-hour created some sort of a support down over here. This is 133. Price created a support. 133. We're approaching. We filled this wick. We're approaching an area over here as well. So let's take a look on the 1-hour time frame. Now the 1-hour has a support down at 133, and now it seems like it's approaching this area, but it also seems like it's bullish too, right? We broke above this minor resistance here. 30-minute candle is about to close in 50 seconds. 30-minute candle is closing above this resistance. This resistance was formed, you know, after Asian Open, and then you had another resistance formed after London Open, and now price is trying to move up, right? So if it starts to move up, let me look on the 15-minute time frame. 15-minute is rejecting an area. 15-minute is rejecting this minor consolidation here to the left-hand side. So let's go back to the 30-minute time frame here. Yeah, I guess so. What I would want to do is I would want to see if we come down to do a retest in this area, 133,400. If we can do retest here in this area, then I think it's going to be a very, very good opportunity to take a buy and continue moving up towards 133,600. I think that's going to be a very, very good plan. Because right now, if this buy is taken, the stop is going to be a little wide, right? It's going to be a little too big. So I have to wait. Plus, a 15-minute candle closed like a weak bullish candle here as well. Let's take a look on the daily. Daily has the potential to flip bullish. Okay. We have the weekly candle here. Weekly candle also pushed up in the first half of the week. Monthly candle is also forming. So yeah, I guess let's see here. I kind of want to have like a retest on the 15-minute time frame. But at the same time, as long as we stay above 133, 390, 133, 400, we're going to continue to move up. And I think the target is going to be pretty much 133, 600. So I'm potentially going to wait here a little bit. Let's take a look at this chart. This is, ooh, buys, okay. Very nice. Very nice, Matt. Looks good, looks good. Yeah, this should continue up. If we stay above this area here, you know, then first target is going to be this wick fill, and then ultimately we should continue up to this point, 133,600. I think it's gonna move up pretty quick. Pretty quick moves. All right, let's take a look at 7 pips already. How big is this wick? This wick is around 10 pip wick. Okay. GBP JPY 2 versus 2 neutral buys to continue up to the previous high. Okay. That makes sense. Everyone experiencing problems with the trading view? No, not over here. I'm just waiting here. I'm waiting for this candle. I'm waiting for something solid, basically. I mean, I might miss it, but I want to see some sort of support forming for me to take a buy. So we're gonna wait. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is GJ 15 minute. Entered a buy and worked, but the levels were drawn. Yeah, levels were drawn, right? You have a support forming on the 15-minute time frame. Obviously, you dropped down to the lower time frame and created that support right down over here. But at this point, I'm looking at this resistance which was broken. So I think it's going to be very important. Let's look at gold. We have a bunch of we have some key events happening today, and these key events are basically, let's take a look at gold here first. Gold is dropping. Okay, is gold dropping because ADP is going to be really good? Like, is it pricing this news in? Let's take a look at ADP here. ADP, they're expecting 2.8 million. That's what they're expecting, from negative 2.7 million. ADP is basically this. So what happens is ADP is like a company, right? ADP is a company that gives out payrolls to almost like 90% of employed people. So that company is used as a derivative, derivative, to like kind of say like how many people are employed, what was the change happened. So that's what the company is used for. And then so these are just rough numbers. These numbers are then used to determine or to compare it with the real NFP numbers, which is going to be tomorrow. Did you take any trades so far? Nope, no trade so far. This is going to be very interesting here. We're going to see what the news is around 8:15. How would you enter this trade if it happened like an hour ago? Like an hour ago. Maybe like right over here. I think after this candle down here, you could enter the buy and then ultimately move up, but then kind of like have some issues. I don't even know if we would enter an hour ago. This is ranging. I mean, you had a price came down. It was next to a support, so there's no sell. Then price went up automatically. Then this candle came down automatically. There's no confirmation for buys or sell. On this candle, there's no confirmation for buys and sell. Maybe this is providing you some sort of a confirmation to continue going up. But yeah, I personally need to see some sort of support forming at 133,400 to take a buy. Other than that, I'm just kind of waiting right now. Isn't NFP on Friday? No, NFP is on Thursday. Friday is a holiday. Come on, man. Look at this. Thursday. And then Friday. Friday's a holiday. Friday's a bank holiday. So they moved NFP to Thursday. I mean, you guys need to check Forex Factory, please. Everything is there. All right, let's take a look at this chart. This is GJ. Resistance. Okay. That's it. That's all the information we have right now on this chart, and I guess makes sense. So as we're waiting for price to form a support at 133,400, seems like we're coming down. I think it's reacting to this consolidation area here to the left. That's why it's coming down. Oh, wow, look at that. See this 15-minute candle? This needed to be a strong bullish candle to continue to go up, but it was a weak bullish candle, so it didn't go up. But now if price starts breaking the low over here, then I think we're going to continue moving bearish. So from here to here, it's like 8 pips, maybe 20 pips. Yeah, this could work out. Sells. Sells should work out if it breaks the low over there. Looking on 30-minute too, I mean, if this candle comes back, then this move down would be a fake out. So, but if it creates a support at 133,400, then obviously we're going to continue to go up. So I'm going to monitor this price here around 133,373. Because if I take a sell as it breaks the low of the previous 15-minute candle and keep my stops at like 12 pips, 13 pips, I think there's a very, very high chance we're going to continue moving down towards, 133, 180. So at this time, I'm playing both sides, I'm playing the buys and the sells, right? I'm making sure that what's going to make it go for sells and what's going to make it go for buys. So that if either or happens, I'm ready, basically, so that I'm ready to execute, right? I think, yeah, that's the best way to put it. When you enter a trade and the 1 hour end in 15 or 30 minutes, you still enter the trade or you wait? Basically, I would still enter the trade because then the 1 hour is going to be closing below this resistance and the 30 minutes is going to be closing below this resistance. So, we'll see what happens. But if it closes above, then obviously we're going to start to go up. So we'll just wait and see. Can you break down Euro JPY? Let's take a look here. Euro JPY. I'm just going to make sure, see what price this is. This is 374. Okay. 374. Daily candle, previous daily. So these are the zones I drew from yesterday, right? Daily candle basically broke above this, went up. Now it's kind of like coming back down to that area. 4 hour is also dropping. Let's just redraw this little zone over here. We have a support right over here on Euro JPY. We broke below this support. Now we're coming down. Let's take a look on the 1 hour. Oops. Oh, it's going to be 29 degrees today. Pretty hot day today. So we look over here. We're coming down to the support. I think Euro JPY, you would need to see some sort of, I think if you can find some support forming here, I think you can try to take buys. I think those buys are just going to be like kind of like retracements. Oh, those buys are just going to be retracements, like 15, 20 pips, and then I think, well, basically right now price is just making a low right here. So the best way to take the trade is going to be after it makes a low, wait for a retracement, and then the retest of the low. I think that's going to be pretty good. What's this? I think GJ, we will go down 100% sure 1 hour chart. I think if you can send a chart, that's going to be much better for everybody, right? So sending a chart is very important. I know you're an NFP pro, Raja. What are your predictions? I have no predictions for NFP because this is the first time I'm seeing NFP on a Thursday since I've been trading. So I'm probably not sure. I mean, if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. I know for a fact I'm not going to be here for NFP anyway. I'm not going to be here tomorrow. 133,390. Oh, above here? No, yeah. Someone asked, how could you have taken the trade if it closed above 133,390? You couldn't have. All right, we got Hayden here. Hey, Hayden, if you can change the background, that'll be pretty good. Hayden got the big pot with a spoon to stir it. He's gonna start stirring the pot. Is someone taking over the stream? No, no one's taking over the stream. I'm actually going on a little vacation today. Have you had any visitors? No, no visitors yet. Hey, isn't the previous 30-minute candle your gladiator candle? Yes, exactly. So this is the gladiator candle right over here, right? So now we're just waiting for this candle to close. This 15-minute candle is about to close in 3 minutes, and the way it's closing, like the previous one closed weak. This candle is about to close. If it also closes weak, then I mean the buys, I don't know. It's going to be very risky. It's probably going to wait. What do you think about ADP today? You think there's any effect on GJ? I think with ADP, GJ is just gonna maybe like spike here and there because you know when the USD moves, the yen moves a little bit, so it kind of affects it a little bit too. So we'll have to wait. All right, what's this target? Safe buys if 1 hour candle closes above 133,400. I agree with that. I agree with that. If you get closes above 133,400, I think we're gonna continue moving bullish. That's cool. All right, let's take a look at this chart here. Oh, what's this? Seems like a map over here. Looking for rejection or continuation. Yeah, oh, yesterday's trade. Oh, very nice. Beautiful. All right, took a buy at 133.372 when the bullish candle broke the high of the previous bearish candle. Stop loss below the candle where you bought. I think it's pretty good. It's a good trade. You know, it was a little bit risky. I'm not gonna lie, it was risky. But then you saw this candle closing above the previous candle, so you're like, well, you know, like it makes sense. So yeah, I think it was pretty good, pretty good. I think you can learn from this as well, kind of see how you can like kind of like replicate that too. But at the same time, since it was risky, I'm pretty sure Lloyd, you know how to manage your risk, so that's good. As the 15-minute candle comes to a close, we can see the 15-minute candle is closing like a weak bullish candle. This is not telling me to take a buy, so I'm probably gonna wait here. Let's take a look at this chart. This is, oops. Waiting for break and confirmation. Okay, this makes sense. This makes sense. Looking for a sell stop. And as this 15 minutes is coming to a close, 30 minutes still open. I don't know. I'm not too confident with this. No, I'm not too confident with this. There's a consolidation level right over here, which is like 12 pips away, 10 pips away. So I don't know. I'm not too confident in taking a buy over here with this 15-minute candle close because the consolidation area is right over there, right? It's like 13, 14 pips away. It's not enough. Like if that area was around, let's say 25, 30 pips away, then I would say, yeah, I'll take a buy, but it's just too close right here, right? So I'm probably gonna wait a little bit more. It's the 1st July, you know, no need to rush into a trade. TP1, TP2, once 1 hour close above 133.352, sell once 30-minute close below 133.062. Yeah, this makes sense. This makes sense, right? So you're waiting for the candle to close above this area to confirm more buys, and then, you know, that's good. Don't you think 15-minute candle closing bullish over the zone is good confirmation since 1 hour, 4 hour, 30 hour bullish? Yeah, I mean, it is, but it's just this consolidation here to the left. It's just very hard because, like, you know, like since price is consolidating over here, right? What you have to do is you have to look left and see that, okay, there was consolidation here before as well. You know, all this area is your consolidation area, right? So as the candles are coming up, right? As the candles are coming up, They're looking left and they're looking at their buddies over here. They're saying, okay, our buddies were ranging here before, so maybe we don't want to go up now yet, unless there's a support formed here in the 30-minute or the 15-minute to support the idea of price heading up, right? That's why price heads up. Because once you have a support formed, that support is going to support your idea that price is going to go up. Whenever there's resistance, resistance means that price is coming up, and this resistance zone is resisting price from going up. That's why it falls. So we want a support formed in this area. Unless that happens, then I don't think, because if a support is formed, look at it this way, right? If there's going to be volume in the market, for volume to come into the market, it needs to see price as at a support. When it sees price at a support, it starts pushing it up. So that's what I want to see. I want to see some sort of a support formed on the 30-minute so that I can confidently say, okay, I'm going to take a buy and have a good trade. But unless that doesn't happen, I'm probably going to wait. Oh, what do you think about this? Let's take a look at this. Gold is still coming down. Euro USD. Okay, price created a high, support high, price pushed down, price used support like a resistance. Okay, this was support turned into a resistance. Sell below this area. I think a better sell. Oh, so you took a sell below the support. Okay, that's pretty good. Pretty good. I think a better would have been like if you sold once this candle broke below the low here, but then you ran into the support. So I think at this stage, your stop loss would have been smaller too because the entry would have been nicer, but still pretty good. Yeah, your JPY is making a low here. Whenever price breaks a support, it's making a low, right? Always remember that. So price is just making a low here. I think there's going to be retracement, and then price should retest this low. So I think that could be a very good setup on your JPY. I became so greedy. I was up 30 pips, but I became greedy until it's gone. Lesson learned. Yeah, that's gonna happen. I mean, 30 pips at 30 pips, man. I know people with big accounts, they can't even catch 5 pips, you know. And I mean, if you're getting like 30 pips, man, you should secure that. Secure, secure, secure. I think if you spent like 2 weeks here in the stream, you would know that one of our cardinal rules is to secure, secure, secure. What do you think about my setup with GJ? Let's take a look here. If price goes below 132.950, yeah, this looks good. Makes sense, makes sense. Below this area, you're looking for sells because there's a clean candle here, right? Right now, we're just kind of like dancing around. Price is just dancing with the pips here now. One most important thing I'm looking at is that we had resistance formed, resistance formed, right? If price closes below, I think we're going to continue moving bearish. First is going to be this area, second is going to be this area. So I'm mapping out both things, I'm mapping out the sells and the buys. Your JPY plan was similar to my plan. This is my chart. Let's take a look at this. 4-hour support. Okay, yeah, it looks good. So you're waiting for a bounce here to do like a little retracement. It's pretty good. Raja, are you expecting much movement from the USD news in 1 hour 25 minutes? Yes. I think with the ADP, most times what we've seen with ADP is that price moves, but it doesn't move a lot. It's kind of like, spikes here and there. It doesn't really move too much. It just spikes here and there because I think the bulk of the move is reserved for NFP. But every ADP can be different, you know. Sometimes I've seen ADP move gold a lot, you know, and I've seen NFP just kind of like wither away. So it could be anything. With news, it's very, very hard to predict what's going to happen. You can predict like a general direction, but the way it's going to get there, it's pretty hard. What do you think about MPC member Haskell speaks? Let him speak. Let him speak, man. Let the man speak. Whatever he has to say, let him say whatever. You know, I mean, who is he? Due to speaker role, let me see what the UK recovery will look like at a webinar hosted by Brighton. Yeah, so this is basically going to talk about what the UK recovery is going to look like. So, I mean, if he says that the recovery is going to be good, then pound's going to go up. If he says the recovery is going to be slow, then pound is still going to go up because they're still saying recovery is going to be good, slow. If they say recovery is going to be, I don't know. I have no idea. First time I heard that name. So let's see what happens. My trading style is strictly technicals. I think fundamentals affect the price over the daily and the weekly time frames, not on the smaller time frames. What's this? GGA 30-minute projecting 4-hour resistance. Okay, sells below previous wick, break trend line as well. Okay, that makes sense. Makes sense if you're looking for it to go down. If you're in buys, I think your buys are going to be in jeopardy here very soon. Now the buys are in jeopardy. If you're in buys, I think you should just start to think about taking, I mean, I don't know, just use risk management, close partials if you think it's still gonna, oh wow, look at that, it's dropping now. I think it's gonna continue moving down now. Since we're now back in this range and closing below here, I think it's gonna continue moving down. Let's see. Do I want to take a sell over here, have like a 10-11 pip stop loss, and ultimately aim for price to continue down towards 133, 163? Okay. I think that could be a very, very good move here for price to continue moving down. Because now since it's going to close back in this range on the 30 minutes, see this? It kind of like broke up and then it's now coming back within this range, right? Which means that it's closing back below this resistance, even the 1 hour here, right? Because you see you had 1 hour candle, 2, 3, this tried to go up, couldn't go up, this tried to go up, couldn't go up. This is about to close in 5 minutes. It's trying to break this area, but on the 30-minute, we're kind of like closing back below this area, right? So if the volume is going to come around, I think it's going to come around over here. Andre. Yo, Raja, you a bum dog? Okay, perfect. That's fine. Let's go to options. Let's go to hide user on this channel. Did you enter sell? No, 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 not right now. Not right now. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for this candle to close. Why does this thing keep showing up here? I don't want it to show up. Let's go to ruler. Have a like a 13, 14 pip stop here. I think we can still make it. I think we can still make this is going to be, if I do, man, this is going to be a very, very risky sell because we're selling into a range for price to continue moving down. I think this is going to be a sell for price to continue moving down. That's what it's going to be. Also, the 1 hour candle is closing back in here. So let me see here. How many of your positions you close when you're in profits? Not many. Do you think we are going to break the resistance and continue down move? Yes, I think we will continue moving down here. This is a very strong resistance which was respected on the 1 hour time frames, and I think we're going to continue moving down. We're going to continue moving down to at least 133, 178. So this could be like, how far is this? This could be like, yeah, 17, 18 pip drop with a 15 pip stop. I think this could work out very, very well. That's a minor support, isn't it? Yes. Yes. So since it's coming back down, since it's rejecting a 1 hour resistance here, it's going to break the smaller time frame support and continue down to the next support. That's basically what's going on over here. That's how I'm reading this chart. Because if you're rejecting up here, price will only move up or down, and if price couldn't go up, where else will it go? It's going to go down. So once it's going to go down, you're measuring your stop loss. It's going to be like, like 14, 15 pips, and your TP around like, 133, 160, 170. What are you looking for before you enter a break of the previous 30 minutes? Well, like if you wait for a break of this, then your stop is going to be too big, Now we have to use some thinking here. So if you enter right over here, your stop is going to be 14, 15. I actually have a short running right now, right here. This is the short I have running right now, So as long as candles, stay below that area, I think we're going to continue moving bearish. Man, I try to give you guys so many tips and it's still questions flying. So let's just measure this all the way over here. This candle's about to close. When the chart moves up, he will have buys. No, not really. I mean, I'm just looking at this 15-minute candle, and what I'm going to do is, now since I'm in sells, once this 15-minute candle crosses above 133,400, that's where I'm going to close 50% of my positions, right? If it closes above, crosses above 133,400, because we don't want price to go above 133,400. If price goes above 133,400, that means price may continue to go up. So that's where you'll have to secure some positions and be a little safe, So that's something you have to keep in mind. But if price starts to continue down, then it's going to be a continuation of like a down move. So you have to be yeah, someone said you have to be very liquid. That's true. You have to be very liquid with your risk management. Setting my keys over here. Oh, there we go. New hour has started right over here. 30-minute candle closed below resistance. So basically what's happening here now is that we had resistance, this candle closed above resistance, this candle closed below that resistance. Essentially, this candle had to close above this area to have a successful retest for price to continue moving up. But this candle closed below that area. So this move up now becomes a fake out. If this move is a fake out, there's a very high chance price will continue down to the next support, which is going to be at 133, whatever this price is, 180. So this is a setup which is called a bullish fake out. Man, if this works, I think it's going to be a very good highlight over here. So it's kind of in this trade right now, so it's pretty good. 1 hour close above the consolidation, that doesn't concern you. I mean, I just gave my analysis right here, so I don't know what else to do. Must be really fun trading with magic keys. It actually is. It actually is. It's pretty nice. I was waiting for some retracement. Guess I'm not going to see it. Well, you know, who knows? You might see the retracement. I'm taking a buy based on the 1 hour candle. Okay, perfect. So someone's taking a buy based on the 1 hour candle, and I think that's pretty okay. Hey, what was the live charts page that you were watching sometimes? Live charts? I'm not sure. I think that's the Chinese indicator you're talking about. Oh, it looks like my thing is stuck over here. That's no good. All right, perfect. So we're coming down right now. We're up about like, 5 pips, so it's pretty good. Once this candle crosses the lows over here, I'm going to start to, bring my stop loss down a little bit. Also, what I'm going to keep in mind is that what else I'm going to keep in mind is that if price now comes back to my entry, this is where I'm going to close 50% if it comes back to my entry, because I'm up like, 5 pips. So, the last thing you want is price to come back up and go in a drawdown, right? That's something you don't want. So that's what I'm going to do. Actually, I placed a stop loss. I placed a partial stop loss right over here. So if price comes back to my entry, it removes 50% automatically. That's what you could do with magic keys. Magic keys, making trading simple and easy. Magic keys. Partial stops, man, they're so good. So we're up about like 6 pips right now. I think it should continue moving down so that I can close at like 10 pips. You based that sell on just not being able to break above the resistance? Yes, it was basically a fake out over here. I explained it. It was a fake out here and anticipating the candle to continue moving down. So now I'm just looking to see how can I manage this trade. Once you're in the trade, once you're in profits, you're constantly looking to see how are you going to manage that trade, because managing the trade is going to be really, really important. Right now we're running at about 7 pips. 7 pips profit. That's still pretty good. Now we're encountering some sort of a minor support over here. So I think, price should break the support. If it doesn't break the support, then you have to be very cautious about this, right? So once it comes back to your entry, well, once it comes back to my entry, I'm going to close 50%. Because, I mean, the worst thing you can do, oh, we're running at about 8 pips right now, 9 pips. 9 pips right now. I think it's running pretty good. Close it to 9 pips. And my entry is at 133.366. 133.366. Yeah, right here. Entry right here. 366. Okay, perfect. We're about like 10 pips right over here. In 10 pips, putting stops at break even. Beautiful trade. Beautiful. Looks like it's coming down more. This is where securing my other position right over here. I think this was a beautiful trade here. Beautiful trade call first thing in the morning. Man, wow, look at that. Look at that move. Come on. Come on. Come on, man. Man, this is awesome. This is awesome. YouTube chat, if you guys got this trade in, if you guys locked this trade in, just give a like on the stream. This was free money. Free money analysis were broken down analysis. This is, I think, wait a minute, where is it? All right, right here. I really think this was a great example of stress-free trading. Honestly, stress-free trading, proper analysis. Price came up, did a fake out, came back down. We took a sell, and price is now coming down to our take profit. So I think this was a very good highlight for today. So, stress-free trading with Raja Banks. This is so awesome. Wow, look at that, man. We hit TP right over here. Congratulations, everybody. If you guys took this sell, you reached TP, and it's a great day today. Great day. Amazing. I don't even know what to say anymore. Thank you. Everyone got scammed here today. Everybody. We all scammed everybody here today. We scammed the markets. Awesome. What was this? Around 18 pips? We hit 18 pips target. Perfect. Let's put it down here. 18 pips. Trade 1, GJ sells plus 18 pips, right? Now, imagine this, right? Just imagine this. When I was trading, when I took this entry, I was constantly talking about managing the risk, managing the trade. So whenever you're in a trade, you're constantly talking to yourself, what are you going to do if it goes bad? What are you going to do if it goes the opposite way? How are you going to manage it if it goes in drawdown? I'm constantly thinking about that. The reason why is because I'm constantly looking to see how can I reduce my risk. That's it. The outcome, we don't know what the outcome is going to be. Like trade can go either way, right? But what you can only control is your risk. So, I mean, the only way you can get better is by getting these $40 mangoes. It's because the mango season. Nice, man. 1st of July. This is Canada Day. Happy Canada Day, everybody. First scam of the month here today. First scam of the month. Oh, nice. Someone donated $10. Perfect. Where would you close the full position? Someone asked, where would I close the full position? Can't you see there's a TP right over here on the screen? There's a TP right here on the screen, man. That's where I close my full position. Right here. Magic Keys hasn't arrived. Yeah, just email Magic Keys. Some deliveries are taking longer than expected because COVID-19, right? I mean, it's just getting pretty hard with COVID-19. Why didn't you take a buy once the range was broken on the upside? That confused me a lot. Yeah, I basically I basically did my analysis why the buy wouldn't make sense, you know, because we had all this consolidation. I broke that down too, and I also said I'm going to wait, and I waited. And since you get paid to wait, I waited and then I got paid. Just that. Just gotta wait. Just gotta wait. But at the same time, you always have to look at the charts and you always have to see what will make price go up and what will make price go down. It's really, really important. Because if you were only looking for buys and you didn't, you weren't fluid enough to see the sells, you definitely missed the sells. So you always have to look to see what will make price go up, what will make price go down. I think that's if you can take one thing from the stream here, this is what you can take. For your sell position, did you open the position as soon as the 15-minute candle closed? I was actually in the position while this 30-minute candle was open. I was anticipating it to close back, especially since the 15-minute candle broke below the last two 15-minute candles and they broke below 133,400. So I was just anticipating it to, possibly continue moving down, and this was a fake out and it came down. The spreads on Traders Domain are, they're actually pretty good. Traders Domain spreads are like one one 0.8 pips on Traders Domain. 1.2, 0.8. They're actually pretty good spreads on Traders Domain right now. Yeah, on GJ. On GJ. Oh, I think you're on a standard account. I'm on an ECN account on Traders Domain. ECN account has like 1.2, 1.3. Gold has like 1.9, 1.2. Oh, wow, man. These spreads are really cool. Yeah. Is there a fee for credit card deposits? I don't know. You can ask them. Mostly, I think the easiest way to deposit is via bank transfer on Traders Domain and via like crypto. If you're from Canada, you know, US, you can deposit in crypto with Traders Domain, but the spreads are pretty nice. I just woke up and everybody in the gulag got scammed live with fake profit and recorded video. Yeah, that's true. Today we had a winning day here today. It's pretty good. Oh wow, look at that move. Still dropping. Damn, GJ. I have no runners. No, I have no runners right now. Testing, testing. Can you guys hear me? No? Oh, okay. Awesome. Oh, someone made $4 today. Beautiful.
Morning.
Hey, good morning.
So I'm watching US 30,
US 30.
our favorite pair that people like to watch.
US 30.
So we've got a negative report coming out for the equities market. And we're at a pretty heavy support, but there was a nice rejection this morning overall. So I think once we break that, we should actually start to move a little bit further down. I can see us going into probably the from 531, so from 25,531 almost into 25,343 again. If you just look at on the 4 hour, for anyone who's trading US 30, this is what I've basically built for myself to give everybody some information. Just do this. So we have this area here, and we're looking to make sure that we hold, and then essentially this area right here. So why I say that is we have a negative equity futures market right now, which is good. So this should continue moving down. But then more importantly, when you see these candles right here, you have just a very big open area of price. And then when you come back over to the left, you have that open area. You have this area here where you have price. So if we do get momentum to drop, you're going to see that in this region. So let me highlight it a little bit better. In this region right here, is going to be your sweet spot where you're going to be able to see the market pull right through, because those other pieces of previous market instances are very strong, and it's almost like they printed the exact same information. And that's what I'll be waiting for, watching US 30 is at the 9:30 open to see if we do get that continued drop. And if we do break below 25,530, we should head down into 25,343, which is a 200-point move. And that's actually a lot. I mean, because 10 points is more than enough usually on US 30. So 200 points will be actually a nice big push. So just keep that in mind if you're looking at US 30. I'd be looking to see once we break below like 25,531, we should have a nice move all the way through. And you can see sort of where I've highlighted that area. So we want it. What I want to see is a bit of a rejection here, and then a continued down. Well, I mean, this would be on the 4-hour. I mean, so this candle here on the 4-hour, this is a daily candle right now. So it's just something to keep in mind. Yeah, so that's what I'm looking at.
Are the pre-markets down? I'm pretty sure they're down, right?
They are down. Yeah.
Ooh, 260 points.
Yeah. Why is NFP tomorrow instead of Friday? Hey, why is that the case? Because there's holidays in the States coming.
Buy Dow puts today. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that. ADP is gonna move US 30 as well.
Yes.
It's gonna be pretty. This is gonna be first time watching US 30 with ADP. So let's see what happens. Take a look at this chart here. This is, ooh, what's this? Sells below this zone. Okay, so I guess there's a lot of waiting over there now. What's this? Overall trend is down. Price came down, formed resistance. Candle closed below support. Okay, you're looking for this candle to break down. Yeah, looks good. I think a better would have been if it did break down first, right? So let's take a look at this on UJ. Now, this is a very crucial level over here. Since your stop, I think instead of having a stop up over here, you're better off by having a stop above the current 30-minute candle. You know, because like since you're entering when this candle broke the low of the previous candle, I think a stop should be above this current candle, which is going to be around what, like, you know, 4, 5, yeah, UJ. The ranges are way too small in UJ. Let's see how far this can fall. This can actually go pretty down. I mean, you also got ADP, so you have to be careful with that too. I mean, I think the first target could be somewhere over here, like 8 pips. You can maybe force it down here, like 12 pips. So yeah, that really needs to break below. If it doesn't, then it's respecting that support. You're lucky you're on UJ because UJ, the volume is low and it doesn't really move that much compared to GJ, man. Wow, look at this. Almost like a 25 pip move. Which was this? 20. Hey, my scam setup, Raja. I know you're not a fan of trendline and patterns, but it's working for me many times. Let's take a look at this. This is GJ 15-minute trendline. Okay, so you're waiting for sells below this area. I think since you're waiting for sells below this area, I think what's going to be more important is now maybe wait for a break off, you know, 133. Because, you know, this is like 14, 15 pips away. So I think a better trade would be to wait for price to break below 133, because if price can break below 133, then you know that price can maybe continue down towards like, you know, 132 670, 132 700. Yeah. Please, can you ship Magic Case to Nigeria, Africa? No, man, you guys keep stealing them. We've sent 5 packets, and 4 of them just lost without a trace. Why was 15-minute candle closing above the zone not enough for a confirmation for move up, please? After this line, Rajesh. Um, because the main reason was that now we also talked about this before too when I came to the stream that once you had this candle closing like a weak body, right? This candle had weak body, so it's very obvious this is not a good buy because that candle closed with a weak body, right? And then once this candle closed bullish, you could argue that, okay, it can continue going up. Now, at this candle, you have to keep in mind when this candle closed bullish, the 30-minute candle still had one more candle to close, right? And I looked left. I looked at this candle rejecting the wick, and I looked left. I'm like, well, okay, maybe price is rejecting to this consolidation area. We talked about this earlier on too, which is why I wasn't a fan of taking buys. I was like, I'm just gonna wait. And if I wasn't going to take buys, obviously I had to take some trade, right? So I'm like, okay, if this candle closes below 133,400, which on the 30-minute time frame right now is a resistance here, which we highlighted before, and closed below here. So then price had to go down, right? I mean, price only goes up and down, so it went down. That's basically it. You didn't need any external meditation. You didn't need to take any special kind of a pill to know this. I mean, a price only moves up and down. If it's not going to move up, it's going to move down. You just have to see where your stop is going to be and just execute, and that's about it. What do you think about this chart? Let's take a look at this. We got news coming in 45 minutes, and USD JPY is, once it rejects that support, then it comes into this ranging area. So then there's no trade within this range. So anyone in sells in UJ, then this is going to be in a 7-pip range, and it's going to be very hard. All right, let's look at this chart. GJ 5-minute break off minor support. Yeah, 5 minutes. I don't know, man. It's very risky. 5 minutes. But Raja, you said it's a risky trade. That's why I used small lots. Well, that's up to you. For me, it was a little risky, but since the candle closed back in the range, I looked at this as a very, very good opportunity of a fake out. And then, we basically, it worked out very well, I think. Did around, yeah, 1.8%. I've entered this trade this morning and I still have runners. Do you think it can go lower still? Let's take a look here. It can go lower still. Sounds like a guy from Toronto, from the GTA. Go lower still. Okay, UJ. Yeah, same thing, right? I mean, if you're in UJ, you want price to break below this area for it to go lower. Other than that, it's just gonna kind of bounce in this range here. Plus, you got ADP, so ADP is really gonna tell you where price is gonna go. So if you're still in that trade, I think you need to really manage it with the incoming news. How much are magic keys? That's a good question for Google. Let's see if Google knows this answer. How much are magic keys? Oh, Google doesn't know the answer. Caught gold sell from 1788. How far can it drop? How low can you go? How low can you go? Let's take a look here. Yeah, I think it needs to break below 1779 for it to drop further below, down to 1773, the resistance it broke yesterday. That's the area. What's this? Euro NZD 15-minute chart. Bearish 30-minute close would be ideal to take sells. Yep, looks good. Looks good. I think looking at the 30-minute chart would give us some more information, but so far it looks good. So far, USD JPY is also closing below the previous candle, which is also pretty good for someone who's in sells. Very nice. Can you put your stop loss like 2 to 3% on profits with magic keys? Yes. So you have to basically change the settings, and then you can do that. There's one function on Magic Keys called a partial stop loss, right? A partial stop loss, what it does is, I had a partial stop loss. So let's say your entry is somewhere over here, right? Your entry is here for sells, and you have a stop loss right over here. But at the same time, let's say you have a partial stop, and let's say your partial stop loss is, let me just donate that line with right over here. Let's say this is your partial stop loss. What the partial stop loss is going to be, like if let's say price starts to continue moving up, as price starts moving up, and if it reaches your partial stop loss, what it's going to do is it's going to automatically close a percentage of the position you have running, because it's going to sense that, okay, price is now probably going to continue up and hit the stop loss, but at the same time, it may continue down. But at the same time now, you want to be safer in this trade. So it's going to take off partial positions right over here. Let's say you have it set at 50%. So it's going to take off 50% automatically and let the rest 50% run. If price goes back down, let's say price goes up here, comes back down, you're still going to be in the trade. If it comes back and hits your stop loss, you're only going to lose 50%. Well, totally you're going to lose 75% off of the 100%, but still you're losing less. So the goal is to lose less. Can you do a tutorial on how to use magic keys? No. Yeah, it's all of that is on the website. I just searched Google why NFP is on Thursday. Google doesn't know because it's a maybe search Google how to get like, I don't know. I'm not going to be mean today, but Friday is a holiday. Friday is a holiday. That's why NFP is on Thursday. That's the easiest way I can explain why NFP is on Thursday. I don't know how much more I can explain it. Hope you're doing well. I got the same trade as you, but I waited for the 30-minute candle to break. It's my last wick. My question is why the target was 133, 150 and not 133, 190 or 290. 190 or because this was a support hit. The reason why the TP wasn't 133, 290 because price was rejecting a higher time frame resistance here, right? This was the 1 hour resistance. Price was rejecting a 1 hour resistance. So whenever price rejects a higher time frame, let's say support, or let's say a resistance, it's going to break the lower time frame support. This is something I've been working on for the last, a year and a half. So I'm really now starting to zone in on these ideas. So we were rejecting a 1 hour resistance over here, which then it made sense for price to break the lower time frame support, the 30-minute support and 15-minute support, and come down to the like a stronger support right over here. What's the lot size you want to use on a $40,000 account? I think on a 40,000, you're safe to use, let's say 3, maybe 4, but only 1 to 2 trades, 1 to 2 trades, that's it, because that's like 1%. The Magic Keys work with CTrader? Yes, on desktop version. What is the most money you would feel comfortable depositing in Hugo's way trying to trade US 30 NASDAQ? For me, my comfort level to deposit in a new broker would be 10,000. Are you comfortable with that? If no, then maybe a deposit less. If you are not comfortable with depositing less, then you can deposit more. So it all depends on your comfort level. Do you take another sell under 133? No, I think I'll have to wait for it to break below, do a retest, and then go down. We got 45 minutes left here for ADP news here. How long have you been live trading? I demoed for about a month. Yeah, I demoed for a month. And then I messaged Ted on Instagram. He's like, yeah, he's with IC Markets. I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. So I opened an account with IC Markets. This is like back in June 2016, way back. And then IC Markets has stopped operating in Canada. The only reason IC Markets stopped operating in Canada was that was because they started to looking for this word over here, starting to poach. No, not poach. There's this word for advertise or something. They started advertising their
Soliciting.
soliciting. Yeah, they started to solicit clients in Canada for
Yeah.
like crypto. This is when crypto was on the rise, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. And then Canada said, hey guys, listen, you can't do this to our people. Our people are nice people, they're kind people. Don't do this to them. And they didn't listen, and Canada just booted them out.
Yeah, there's the regulatory environment.
Yeah, they booted them out. The main problem was we were using MT5 on IC Markets, and every other broker that we found, they were using MetaTrader 4.
Yeah, IC Markets was actually really good.
Yeah.
Never had problems with them. Um, it was a fun time.
Don't you think entering on limit prices will save a lot of money over the long run? No, I think because when you're trying to enter on the on limit orders mean that you're trying to call the top or the bottom. You know, let's say if you have a buy limit down over here, you're kind of saying that price is going to come down, tap this, and go up. So what if it starts breaking down? That's something you have to ask yourself. And USD JPY 30-minute candle did not close below, so obviously now it's going to be in a range. I'm doing extremely well in London session, but I fuck up pre-New York or New York Open. For example, today, 2 wins at London Open and 1 loss at pre-New York. Any advice? Yes, stop trading New York Open then. Best advice I can give you. You had 2 wins in London, but you still wanted to trade New York. I don't know why. You know, you could just say, okay, you know what? I'm done. Like, I had one trade on GJ. I took the sell, and I took profits here, and that's it. I'm done. And look at this now. It's continuing to fall. Man, if you have runners running right now, this run is running.
Yeah,
This
if
run
you're in
is
US 30, you should have caught the US 30 sell at the beginning of the half hour. So we had a nice drop there. Um, and we hit the 25 531 support that we were talking about. So now what we'll do is we'll wait for a bit of a rejection to see if we can get down a little bit further into that zone. But we should be good. So if you were looking for entries for US 30, you would have probably looked at the new 30-minute candle. So when you saw that the new 30-minute candle opened, there was a bit of rejection on the 5 and 15. And from that point, we just pushed right through on this new 15-minute candle. So here, this is the area that you were looking to fill. And once we started to go below this rejection on the new 15-minute candle, that was basically your trade. And then coming into 531, that's a pretty heavy support. I know that there's a support down here as well. So it would just be now managing your trade between here and here, and then placing your stop now over here.
Yeah, I think a better entry on this would have been like since it broke the 15-minute low.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah, to fill that wick. So this
Yeah.
is basically your 30-minute wick fill. So when we say wicks get filled in momentum, that was your 30-minute wick fill. So if you go back to the 30-minute chart, you'll see exactly that it filled that area right to support, like into this region here. So this is an example of a wick fill, momentum, and it gets filled.
All right, let's take a look at this chart. This is 30-minute closed bullish at previous support, right over here. So you took a buy for price to continue to go up. Well, let's see what the outcome is later on. Would you think about a sell below 133.035 to catch all that free traffic? I think a better way to look for a sell below 133 would be to wait for price to break below and then kind of do like a retest, because this is a very strong zone. It's also a psychological level too, because it's a 133 price level, you know, and like even numbers they're like strong levels here. Plus, we can also see the price came down here in pre-London and rejected it. So you'd want to see a break and then kind of like a retest to continue moving down. That's what I would want to see.
Yeah, now that I'm looking at it, you actually got some premium sales. Very good.
Why do you use fixed lot sizes even though you use magic keys? Because in magic keys you can use fixed lot sizes. That's why. Simple answers to simple questions. I feel like ranging was good because it taught me to wait for candle closes. If this was 3 weeks ago, I probably would have entered as soon as broke the support. Yeah. Yeah, I really waited here. I wasn't too sure about the buys, so I really waited. I'm glad I waited. I took the sells later on. Are you taking any more trades today? Nope. Already took a sell. I think these were really good sells. They ran for like about 30, 31 pips. I think it's pretty good. I'm done for today. I took one trade today. It's the start of the month too, guys. I mean, you just got to be very relaxed here. Who was your trading mentor? It was Uncle Ted. Your JPY bullish on weekly. Goodbye now after drop. Goodbye now. Goodbye to the trading account or goodbye to your JPY? I don't think it's a really good buy right now. I mean, we were looking at this and I was like, we looked at this and we're like, okay, you know what? It's coming down, so it may bounce off of this support right over here. Let me just draw this here again on 30-minute chart. Right over here, and then the next bounce could be, you know, like right over here. But it didn't. It just kept on falling, you know, so there was no buys. So you will need some sort of a support formed here to tell you that it's a buy. If you buy right now, man, like I just don't even know. I mean, if you buy right now, the daily is bearish, 4 hour is bearish, 1 hour is bearish, 30 minutes bearish, 15-minute is kind of like still forming right now. So uh, let's not be dumb on the first day of the month over here. Let's learn to wait for candles to close in your direction. What do you think about gold for the upcoming employment change news? Yeah, I think we'll see what's gonna happen here. Gold has room to drop to 1774, so we'll see what happens. Let's take a look at this. This is SPX 500. Sell stop. Oh yeah, I remember that chart. This chart was sent earlier on today for sells on SPX 500. What's your thoughts on simulator? Do you ever use one? Yes, I use a simulator every other week for an hour, 2 hours. What's the feeling like now when you're trading? What? What's the feeling like now that your trading preference is way better than before? Like when you first started out with the losses as to compare now being able to see price action clear. Yeah, I mean it's basically just looking to take one or two trades. That's it. Just focus on one or two trades and basically not overtrade. I mean, when you have wins, you overtrade, then like, you lose your profits and then you start questioning a lot of things. You start questioning whether other people are winning or not. You start questioning your own abilities to trade. You start questioning a lot of things when you start to overtrade. You start questioning, if someone is really profitable, if someone is really making what they're making, even though when all the signs are out there. Even though when people see us do this live, you still start questioning everything because you're not content with what you're doing. You're not like you're over trading, you're over risking. It doesn't help anyone. It doesn't help you, like to be honest. Can you check my post? Yes. Can you post it? Do you use the same lot size throughout the week? Yeah, it depends. This setup, I saw it as really, really good. I haven't really taken any trades this week, so this was the first trade I took this week. So I went a little hard on this trade. Had like 20 lots. It's pretty good. Can you explain how you see consolidation on the left for GJ? Yeah, so basically it's in consolidation right now. It's just ranging. It's just ranging right now. Why are you going to start to charge for this stream? Just a question. When? When is that happening? When am I going to start charging for the stream? Please tell me this so that I know when to do that. Is the background music ever going to change? Yeah, I just have to download new songs. I'm just too lazy. Is it okay to start a live account with $1,000? Yes, it's totally fine. Can I sell if support will break on GBJPY? I think you will need to see if once. So basically, this was support held right at pre-London. So you would need to see a break below this area here, and then possibly like a retest. A retest would be perfect for price to continue down. Could I have entered on this 15-minute bullish that broke previous high on support? 2-week confirmation. Yeah, I think you could have. You could have, since price was dropping really, really low. I think the confirmation was weak. I think at this point you could have maybe entered with half a risk, and then you could have entered the rest of the risk later on. Yeah, I think that's a good way to approach that. You said that at the start of the next year you might charge around $30 or so. Maybe not $30, maybe $10. I think we help people make a lot of money here, so I think someone can maybe give $10. But probably not. Probably not next year. Once the views goes up to like 5,000 people watching live, then I might want to do it. So there's a long way to go to 5,000. Do you look at the monthly in terms of potential wick fill? No, not really, because looking at the monthly candle will not help me trade the 30-minute time frame right over here. Because if I want to take a sell on the 30-minute time frame, looking on the monthly right here wouldn't make any sense. Because there are a lot of 30-minute candles in one monthly candle. We got half an hour for ADP news here. 30 minutes left. 30 minutes left. But retest on GJ almost never happens. So what is your best tip? My best tip is if a retest doesn't happen and you missed a trade, look to see how could you have entered the trade. Right now, it's very impossible to tell you exactly how GJ will break below and exactly where you should enter. It's impossible. But what we can do is we can anticipate, right? So there are two types of anticipations we can do. One type is that if price just breaks below support, doesn't do a retest, it is what it is, you missed a trade. Second is that if price breaks support and does a retest, and then you can enter the trade, right? So if you missed a trade, always look to see how could you have entered the trade. There's sometimes you're going to find an answer, sometimes you're not going to find an answer, and that's how the market rolls. Sometimes it doesn't give you any answers. And you're just like, okay, Mr. Market, I get it. Could you please explain to me when you decide to leave a runner and when you don't? Um, I mean, you can leave a runner at every position, anticipating it to drop. I closed my trade around around like 10, 11 pips, and then I didn't want to leave a runner running because I thought that, well, maybe price is going to bounce over here. Some people who left a runner running believing that price will continue down to 133, they made those extra profits. So it's basically up to you if you want to leave a runner running or not. My friend, I entered also in GU, then I realized you are live on YouTube doing the same. I am now subscribed and notifications all to follow you forever. Oh, nice. That's the best thing someone has said to me since yesterday. Um, yeah, so everybody put your helmets on. GU 15-minute chart. Took this trade at break of 30-minute support and took partials at 10 pip and leaving runners. Listen to your constructive criticism. Da, 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 da. Oh, nice. Very nice. Very good. How much percentage a month do you average? Like 40%, 35, 40%. Who is Raja? Everybody is talking about him. I have no idea. Not everyone is live trading, but rather demo trading. Consider please Raja Banks and don't charge. Well, if you're demo trading and you have no, wait, if you're demo trading and you have no dreams to go live, then why are you even trading? I don't know. Even if I charge, okay, let's say hypothetically speaking, from tomorrow, the streams are $10 a month. $10 a month. And if you can't afford $10 a month, then you can't afford to trade. And that's just it. I think if we go with $10 a month, I think everyone will just leave all paid groups and paid signals and just come over here. Only charging the gulag, yes. Only the gulag. Zoom stays what it is. So it's going to be like OnlyFans page for Raja Banks. Or the best way to do it would be on that OnlyFans website. You want to watch the stream? You got to subscribe to OnlyFans. There we go. Yeah. I think a good lot size for $1,000 account could be like a 10-cent lot or a 15-cent lot, something like that. Yeah, right now there's no trade right now on GJ. Up 5.3% for the day with the 2-lot runner running on sells. Think I'll call it a day unless an easy read pops up. Hey Ambidex, that's awesome. That's beautiful. Up 5.3%, that's amazing. That is unreal. Ooh, we got Anthony Lopez, who had a 3-strike ban from sending charts last week because he sent the wrong chart 3 times, and now he's sending the right chart. Perfect. How do you learn to interpret fundamentals? It's very hard. Fundamentals, it's a constant learning with fundamentals because fundamentals are changing every day, right? Every day you have new news come in, new things happen every day. Someone says something every day, so it's a constant learning with fundamentals. Just like when you marry a stranger. I mean, sometimes people do marry strangers. Then it's constant learning that person every day, something new, something new, something new. Leverage is a beautiful thing. You can provide massive value for only $10 a month, but leverage over like 5,000 people is 50K a month. Besides, business is beautiful. There's no shortage of money. Yeah, but like out of those 5,000, not everyone is going to pay. Out of 5,000, maybe we're going to have 1,000 people watching. That's pretty good. Oh wow, still 10,000. So imagine if I charge $30. Wow.
Yeah. It's a good racket. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, it's a good racket. Come over here and give me your $30 and make money.
I mean, I always question people when they get upset about something like that. I mean, you should only really be upset if the person isn't doing what they say they're going to do. I mean, if you're available every day at 6:30 in the morning, that's what people are paying for. I mean, you sort of done your job. I think people would just get angry because you have sort of the platform or the notoriety to make that money. Like if you're only making $100 a day and you had 3 people, nobody would care. But because you're going to have like 1,000 people or 1,500 people, everyone gets angry at success. It's just rather interesting. I think my US 30 is going to get stopped out. Yep, just got stopped out. Yeah, which makes sense because the new major candle is going to open with the U.S. market open. So I wasn't surprised it was going to pull back. And like I said, 25,531 was a very heavy support. So you can see that. What I anticipate is this pullback over here will probably be short-lived, and then you'll see probably a dip, and then we'll hit over here. It's obvious. So if you're looking for US 30, what I'd do is I'd start probably like putting an alert right around this area here in the new candle. And then if we have a rejection to the upside and we start to trail down in the new hour, and with ADP, we should possibly drop at that point. Now, once again, if ADP is good, this support holds, we're bouncing back up to this level here. So just be cautious. Really with US 30, it's very, very difficult to take market orders. You should always be looking to take orders below like levels like this or above levels, say over here, so that candles actually push right through and then continue up. Trying to take a market order here is scary because of the fact that this could basically become a wick and then we could drive further down. So what ends up happening is your original bias is a sell. So you have you have your order here, but you're like, oh man, I want to take a trade here. This then continues to go up, so you get frustrated, you stop out, and then it starts to drive down, and now you're in a loss and you're trying to take a trade and it ends up going your way, where all you had to do was just wait to come over to here or wait to come up over here and then take an opportunity. So it's just little things like that will save your account a lot of headache.
Ooh, gold is pushing up here. Gold is pulling up back above 1780. ADP news affect US 30 and NAS 100. Yes, I think there was spike here and there, so we're gonna have to wait and see what happens. Will you be checking the markets while you are away? No, I won't be. I might maybe tune into NFP, but to see what's going on, but other than that, no. I'm gonna be on a vacation. Why do people like to trade Forex with leverage? Is that only required when trying to profit? Yeah, because there's leverage available, so with stocks, I know you need a higher balance to trade stocks, but with Forex you don't because you have leverage available. Made 2.8 euros and called a day. Consistency is key. I'm 16, so money doesn't matter. That's awesome. That's that's a great view to have. At that young age, pretty good. Better setup, EN or GP CAD. Glenn, I think if you send a chart, that's going to be very good to see what you see. How long will you be on vacation? Oh, I'll be back. Well, Friday's a holiday anyway, so probably going to be back Monday. Let's take a look at this chart here. Let's take a look at this chart. This is bounce off support, buy above resistance, 15 pips TP here, Euro USD. Yeah, I think you need to be cautious about the USD news coming in very soon. It's going to be in 15 minutes, so we're going to have to wait and see. When do you realize the potential of Forex and that this was going to be your vacation? I realized the potential of Forex when I made my first $10. I made $10 in like, I think it was like 8 minutes. I made $10 back when I started, and I was like, okay, if I can do this once, I can do this a million times over. And doing $10 over a million times over is like 10 million, but that's a long way to go. What pair would work good to trade ADP? I think no pair should work to trade ADP. Yeah, I'm staying away from news, man. If you guys want to trade news, go ahead, be my guest, but I don't trade news anymore.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at news as well, if you're already in a position, you should be managing the trade, but you shouldn't be looking to try and trade through that idea if possible. Like someone asked earlier if I was going to hold my US 30 or my DGI trade. Of course, I would hold it through the news because my trade was already in profits and my stop loss was protected. So I was comfortable, like, obviously I got stopped out now. So I was comfortable with the amount that the minimal amount that I would possibly achieve. But then there was opportunity if ADP ran in my favor that I would make more. So that is the constant, I wouldn't say struggle, but it's the constant thought process you have to have when you're executing trades is what am I comfortable making? You can't sit there, and I know I've said this previously, you can't sit there and say, well, I hope, GJ goes down to 130. And then, you have a trade and you hold the trade and it gets to 131 and then it reverses all the way and then you say to yourself, oh man, I wish I would have secured that. You have to make sure that when you consciously make a take profit point or an amount that you're comfortable with, you stick with that. So if you move your stop loss to profits, you have to understand that potential minimal profit, you have to be satisfied with that. And if you're not satisfied with that minimal profit, you have to close your position at the optimal profit that you want. So you can't have it both ways. Really remember that as a trader. There's going to be a lot of times you're going to get stopped out in profits and make a minimal amount. And then there'll be those one or two trades that run really well for 50, 60 pips, and that makes it up for it. So you really make sure that you manage your trade and understand every outcome. Each decision you make when it comes to trading, you have to really evaluate every potential scenario for yourself. It's a lot of work, But when you do it on a regular basis, it becomes easy. You hear Raja talk a lot about that, where he says, well, I was comfortable taking profit at this point. I don't want to re-enter. He's already gone through the whole mathematics of what he wants to achieve, and he's comfortable with multiple scenarios closing. Whether he gets stopped out in a loss, he gets stopped out in profits, takes partial profits, hits take profit. All those denominations or all those amounts are already predetermined, and he's comfortable with any of those scenarios. When you get comfortable with multiple scenarios and multiple outcomes, trading becomes very easy because you'll know that, hey, worst case, I'm going to lose $20. Worst case, stop loss and profit, I'm going to make $5. Worst case, take profit, I'm going to make $40. When you start evaluating those different processes and you get to that point, trading becomes straightforward because you already know what the outcome is going to be. You just don't know which one it is. You know what the final outcome is going to be based on your variables. You just don't know which one of those outcomes are going to hit at this time.
Yeah, everyone's gonna find out what they're gonna get hit with ADP here very soon. How did you find out what kind of a trader and strategy fit your temperament, meaning scalping, swing, or counter trend? Well, I think 90%, 80% people are very impatient. You know, we want results ASAP. So the best form of trading that's fit my style and my personality was in and out. Be in the market, be out of the market, call it a day, and just come back the next day. That's it. That's what fit my style. Counter trend, there's no such thing as counter trend. Like when you really start to get good at reading candles, things just start to become very, very easy. I mean, we read this candle as a fake out and price went down and it was pretty good. How many lots should I use with an account of 20,000 doing your strategy? I have no strategy. It's a way to trade. I think 20,000, I mean, just understand how much you can risk. How much can you risk in a day? Can you risk $1,000 a day? Can you risk 500, 200, 150, $150? Understand that first and then you start trading, right? Ooh, looks like UJ broke down here. This 30-minute candle broke down. Can ADP affect GJ? A little bit. Can ADP affect EJ? A little bit. Do you remember your first day trading in the morning? How did it go? It was very nerve-wracking. It was like, oh shit, here we go. Just took a trade in front of 20 people. that's what it was. First time. Oh, 20 people are watching. Oh shit. Now we got 2,200 people watching. And honestly, it's just gotten better and better. The last 5 ADP releases were more positive than expected. Yeah, that's what I was looking at too. So we'll see what happens. They're expecting 2.8 million. The previous one was negative 2.7 million, so let's see what happens. We got 10 minutes left. 10 minutes left. Did you win the first trade? I have no idea. I don't even remember. Buy limits and sell limits are very risky, I think, because you're basically buying as price is falling and thought previous 30-minute candle had a strong rejection but closed below support and below the low of the previous candle. Guess we could continue move down. Yeah, if we break below 133, we could continue moving down. And then you'll need a retest. Are you done for the day, Raja? Yes, it's the first day of the month. So yeah, I'm looking at it from the month perspective, not from the week perspective. Looks like we're breaking down here, man. If people now, this is a really good opportunity. Not for a trade, but like for someone who's already in sells and they're holding sells. Now you're basically bringing your stops below the candle. So first was over here, second was over here, and now you can bring your stops down over here. Because now candles are making lower highs and lower lows, so you're just like trailing your stops. That's how I trail my stops sometimes. Um, I mean, we've done these examples in the simulations as well, where the stops are, they're brought below the candles. Do you know how many pips you get in a month average? I haven't counted that yet. Okay, let's take a look at this. Closed 80%, trail stop losses, 2 wicks or break even. Yeah, I think if you can bring stop loss to break even, I think it's going to be pretty big. You closed 80%. Even what you can do is you can even bring it up below this 30-minute candle. Yeah, because there's going to be some sort of retracement or not. So it's your call, either to have it at break even, which is below the previous 30-minute candle, and have it below this current one. Um, wow, we're still falling. So this person here, Benjamin K19. Benjamin K19 has been trading Euro GBP for the last, I'd say like 2-3 months. And he sends me charts every day on Euro GBP, and most of the times they're winning trades. Sometimes there's some trades which shouldn't be there, but it's learning in progress. And man, I think the progression here is insane just by focusing on one pair. Wow, what a sell on JPY. Wow, if I would have held this position, this would have been in like, wow, almost 40 pips. That's a lot of money. If the body of the candle closes below the support, will it continue to be bearish? Yes. So let's say this candle is now pushing down. If you look on the 15-minute, this is pushing down. We have 6 minutes till ADP. Now, it's closing below. You would need a 30-minute candle to close below this area. And then on the smaller time frames, maybe wait for a break of a low for it to continue down. Oh wow, look at that. Look at that. I hope no one became the wick down over here. You become the wick when price is falling and you think it's going to continue falling before the candle close, and you take a sell. You take a sell and price retraces and you're like, oh man, I took a really nice entry but in the opposite direction. So those are mistakes I used to make all the time. And now I've stopped making those mistakes because I've started to wait for candles to close. Looks like USD JPY also came down to the same level we drew here before. Are you trading NADEX? New to the what? What's this? New to the game and trying to follow you. Lost some money, but now watching you to learn. Please let me know if you are on NADEX. I don't know what NADEX is. I'm on. I have MetaTrader open on this ThinkPad here, and I have TradingView open over here. Closing below 133.060 could be a good sell. Okay, if it's going to be a good sell, then where would your stop loss be? Where would your stop loss be? Your stop loss will be above the 30-minute candle, which will be like 15 pips. And then you have to identify how much are you willing to lose on that trade. Also knowing that this is going to be the only trade you're going to take. Right? So always look at it this way. If this is going to be the only trade you're going to take, how much are you going to risk on that trade? And if you lose that trade, that's totally fine because you lost what you planned, and then you can come back the next day and do it again. Oh, that's a nice wrap. Why do you have MetaTrader on a separate computer on the laptop? Because I'm paranoid like Ted now. I have it hardwired to my router because I don't want any interruptions. GJ 15 minute. Broke below the support. Missed the first move but caught a slick slice. Oh, very nice. Previous 230-minute candle closed bearish. 15-minute tried to push bullish but was rejected. Yep, it was rejected. I think this 15-minute candle was a retest of this minor support and then price continued to go down. This is very nice. Very nice breakdown. Is there hard news today? No, not really. There's no news today. Nothing's happening today. There's ADP news coming in 3 minutes. Raja, does negative result for ADP mean GJ should go down? How does a USD news affect pound? How does it affect pound? Please ask yourself this. How? What will make a USD news move pound? You have to ask yourself this. You know, the only thing that's going to happen is that maybe there's going to be a spike here and there, but that's about it. Very rarely I've seen price move a lot. You know, if there's a spike, that spike is going to come from the change in the dollar, obviously, and that's going to affect the change in yen. That's the only way there's going to be a spike. Otherwise, it won't really affect it. Like, you're not going to see that price will just move one way because USD news came out. I mean, it could. There's a very, very small chance it could, but for the most part, I don't think so. Let's take a look at this chart here. This is sells on GJ. Yeah, if it's closing below 133, I think it's going to continue moving bearish. I think good target below 133 could be around, I'd say like 132, 850, 800. Did you hear about his warrant? Oh, I don't know. All right, we got 50 seconds left here. We got gold. We have US 30 here on the horizon. US 30 is pulling up here a little bit. It's trying to maybe pull up to do a retest here and then continue down. I think that's going to be a very logical thing for US 30 to do. Gold is at a support. They're expecting good news, so let's see what happens here. We got 20 seconds left. Got 10 seconds left. Oh, all right, let's see what happens here. Oh, looks like we're pushing up on gold. US 30 is trying to push down. GJ has little to no reaction. Looks like the news was it bad? Was it? Let's see here. Oh, bad. Okay, it was bad. 2.3 million. Still better than the previous one, but worse than expected. So gold is moving up. GJ kind of like doing like a retesting over there. US 30 still no change, nothing. Maybe it's going to move later on with the NYC Open, but who knows? I don't know US 30 that much. Well, looks like gold really did reject this support because I think now, just by reading price action, seems like this candle couldn't close below here, and so it went up. So it made sense for it to move up too, from a technical perspective. Raja, this is my gold trade. I'm a fix fibs don't lie student. Yeah, we can't see your chart. Selling GJ right now, I'm not sold on that idea yet because the 30-minute candle is still open. I'd wanna wait for it to maybe close. Because even if I do take a sell, I mean, if someone tries to take a sell, I mean, your stop is going to be around, at like 133, 160, which is like 16 to 17 pips away. And then you're targeting way over here, 132, 658. Basically a correction of this move up from yesterday. Because this was a Brexit news yesterday, right? They were talking about some Brexit stuff. So, I mean, if this was a Brexit news, this was an impulse move up. So I think it should get corrected if we stay below 133. Yeah, I think that's a very good idea. If we stay below 133, we should correct that move coming down to at least 132, 700. Yeah, let's put it that way. Well, ADP just bounced on gold, up, down, up, down. Up 2.5% today. Thank you, Raja, for the live scam. Enjoy your vacation. Oh, thank you, thank you. Thank you for being a part of this big scam over here today. We have conflicting news here for the pound. Do you use a H4 support area at 132.952? Let's take a look at the 4-hour. It's all the way to the left. See, now the thing about this area here is that if this area was some sort of an important area, I think this candle moving down should have respected this area. In the same way, this candle moving up should have kind of like, maybe done something in this area, but it didn't. Oh, what's going on over here? One of us can start a Zoom chat tomorrow so we can all trade. Yeah, I think that's going to be a very good idea. Taking initiative. I'm done for the day. Bye, everyone. Take care. Take care. Someone doubled their account today. Oh, our friend Floyd isn't here today.
Slept in.
Floyd slept in today.
Yeah,
Thanks.
so I'm watching US 30 still. It really rejected hard off of 25,531. So I think we'll have to wait a bit to see where we're going on the hour. It is ranging, but if we can hold below 25,630, I think we are heading down still. So, but I still want to see a break below 25,531. A hard break, and then we're going to 25,533, or sorry, 543. Oh, Floyd's here. He's back.
Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think US 30 can continue up ahead a little bit and then drop later on for NYC.
It's tough because there's conflicting. So when I look at US 30 and if I'm looking to take a sell, obviously, you want negative information in the futures market to promote that sell. But in the back of my mind, and this is something everybody should keep, sort of keep it in the back of their head, is anytime the market starts to get like a bit of a panic, especially like in the indices, the Fed always comes in and says something that props it back up. So to an extent, I like to take a sell if there's an opportunity here, but I'm always watching more of like the overall like push up maybe to 26,000, in the future. Maybe not today, maybe, tomorrow or Monday, just because, like I said, every time there's some instability or something comes out that's negative for the US, like Trump will come in and speak positive, the Fed will come in and do some sort of monetary action, and it just drives the equity market up. When realistically, if you look through the points logically, there's no reason for the market to be that high. You have high unemployment. You've had, this medical crisis in the United States. There's no reason why the Dow should be trading where it's trading. So it's very hard to take sells. But I mean, once again, when there is bad news, the market does unload, and you get a nice drop. But it's usually not sustainable. So just keep that in mind. Like if you are taking sells, if you look to take sells, be very cautious on how you take sells and manage your trade, but keep in the back of your mind that if the Fed comes in and says anything in terms of stimulus, in terms of monetary assistance, it just drives US 30 up. So keep that in mind.
Why wouldn't be a very good leader always bash the outlook of the economy?
I mean, yeah, I guess that's true too. I mean, if Trump was always saying something, but I mean, I think what we're trying to get at is there should have been a realistic approach to, the market. In a free market, there isn't supposed to be this much government intervention. So, like, if you read economics courses, the equity market is considered what they call a free market. In free market societies, governments aren't supposed to really, I guess, what's the word, infringe or try and adjust things. You're supposed to let the market do what it does. But in the last, say, 5-6 years, or anytime there's been a very hard correction, the free market has always been tapped by governments or by agencies to adjust or to stabilize. And the argument is, once again, as economies get bigger, or as the world turns and we become global, quantitative easing to help maintain a stable economy is better than letting the free market do its thing, crashing the economy, and then having years of struggle. So, there is, but then the question becomes, when does that stop? When does government intervention stop? So when you're constantly intruding on the free market, is it really a free market now, or is it just being manipulated to someone's narrative at that point? And that's the struggle that a lot of people have. And if you read a lot on the internet, or you read the newspaper, a lot of big investment institutions are struggling with this concept, because when the market rallies, it rallies on data related to, it should be rallying on data related to the companies that are in the market, not that the federal government is pumping stimulus money in to protect the economy, right? Like that's sort of the struggle that a lot of institutions have. And you saw that when Corona first hit, we dipped all the way down to like 18,000 on the Dow, because that was a legitimate concern. It was a legitimate scare, because they knew the economy was going to lose jobs, businesses were going to close. But then right away the government comes in and throws in all the stimulus packages, and it just drives the market all the way up. But it really hasn't changed the overall tune of the economy. People still lost a lot of jobs, businesses still closed. So really, is that quantitative easing, was it effective, or was it just a ploy to make sure that the market didn't crash all the way at that point? Oh, someone has a no-no square. How do you balance rationalizations then? Well, the idea behind a free market is the market should crash. We should allow businesses to fail. We should allow people that make poor decisions to fail, and that allows for new and innovative things to pop up. It allows for companies that are better run to take over where poorly run companies failed, right? So look at the airline industry as an example, right? So the airline industry is too big to fail, basically. That's what everyone says. But it should. And then you can argue, well, airline transportation or air traffic is important to the world for, traveling at this. But then what that allows it to do is maybe it allow low cost airlines to come in and take over, right? So maybe now the consumer gets a better price. These companies thrive, and the companies that were big and bloated, they die off. It's a similar story with banks. If everyone says banks are too big to fail, well, maybe they have to fail so that we get better efficient banks, or more efficient banks where fees are more competitive. You get more value for your dollar. That's the whole point of a free economy, right? Back in the old days, when we used to do barter, right? Someone would come in and it was supply and demand. I have 3 chickens, you have 2 goats. Well, if there's only 2 goats in the entire community, he can probably command more than 3 chickens. He can probably get 10 or 15 chickens if someone really wants a goat, and there's only 2 goats available, right? You can't turn around and say, well, I'm just going to go and find more goats somewhere. There's only 2 goats. Like, you have to wait for them to be born. And that's sort of where the free economy is taking a turn here, where you're expecting the economy to go to a dip, but then it's like your parents come in and say, oh, you maxed out your credit card. Okay, well, here's money to pay off the credit card, please don't do it again. And tomorrow you max out your credit card again, and then they come back and pay it again, and they keep doing that. Really, have you paid down the debt? Yes, you've paid down the debt to the credit card company, but now your parents have taken on that debt by paying off your debt, so they've effectively lost money. So really, have you instilled change or created adjustment in the way that your spending habits are? No. All you've done is you've deferred your spending habits and got your parents to pay for you. And that's basically what the federal government's done with the US economy. Ted, how do you know a lot? I went to university, took finance, I worked in finance, I studied economics. So it's just simple things. Probably 20 years older than you as well. So it's just life experience. Just that's why I struggle a lot with younger people, because I see everyone trying to grow and be better, and you just people don't see the bigger picture. They just see what's 2 minutes in front of them.
All right, this is the close of the 30-minute candle here on GJ, and we closed above support. So no sells. No sells indeed. GJ doing a fake out. No, this is not a fake out. This is candle closing above support. So we're respecting support. This was a fake out where 30-minute candle closed above support, because 30-minute candles are like stronger confirmations. Guys, question for both of you as a trader. Are you glad the Fed have stepped in? To be honest, from my perspective, I don't know much about the US economy. I don't follow it. Only the major news. But in terms of how things will get better, I mean, no one is good for the economy. That's how I've seen it. I mean, everyone is coming in for their own personal benefits there. I'm a huge conspiracy here. So, I mean, for the normal things that's happening, I don't agree with anything. I think like all this money spent is just as a way to grab tax later on. Like if you look in Canada, I have a friend who was on welfare and he got the CERB checks, $2,000, and once he got those CERB checks for 3 consecutive months, his yearly income went up. It went above the threshold of getting welfare checks. So now he's not going to get he's not going to get welfare checks for the rest of the year, because his income is higher now. And then on top of that, he'll have to pay taxes on that CERB income that he got. So I'm like, man, like, why? Why would you even do this? He's like, oh man, like I thought it was a good idea. So the government always plays a long-term game. Always they're playing a long-term game. They know that people, they will look at this quick, fast money, they will take it, they'll spend it, but the government know that they will claw it back. Like next year when taxes come in, like everyone will have to pay tax on it. Like if you deserved the money, you're gonna keep it, but you still pay tax on it. If you didn't deserve the money and you still got it, they will want that back from you one way or the other. Is it if it's going to be through like like tax refunds, they'll take a part of that back, and then you were like, oh well, government is scamming us. No, the government gave free money to people who deserved it, but if you took it, if you didn't, then they'll take it back. Long term game. My third day in a row with you, Raja. What you're doing is great, especially for new guys. Seeing you trade is a big help. Seeing the time you spend waiting to the process. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, I think waiting is really important. I mean, waiting will save you from so much stress. And I mean, waiting, especially like, let's say we're on the 15-minute chart over here and candles closing like this. I mean, when you're looking at smaller time frames, 15 minute you have weak confirmations, 30 minute you have stronger confirmations than 15 minute. So I only look at most of the times I look at the 30-minute confirmations because they're pretty strong. You think GJ is going to continue bullish and head down? What? GJ, you think GJ is going to continue bullish and head down? Yeah, I think you meant if it's going to continue bearish and head down. Yeah, I mean, if we break and close below 133, for sure. Looks like a fake out. I'm debating to take the sell. I just don't know if there's any sell anymore. Would you say the only time it's high probability to trade a range if is there a fake out? Yes, since then prices in theory should go the opposite way. Yes, especially if there's a higher time frame resistance like the sell you took this morning. Exactly, yes. That's true. Because once you measure this range from 133,400 down all the way to what the down all the way to 133, that's a 40 pip range. So when you have a 40 pip range, it's really easy to get like 15 pips out of it, 20 pips out of it. So when you're trading ranges, the range has to be big enough for you to profit. Like if this range was, let's say, 20 pips, I would never take that sell because I'd be like, man, this is only a 20 pip range. What am I going to get out of it? 8 pips, 9 pips, not even worth it. How would you handle GJ runners if you still had them? If I still had runners on GJ, they would have gotten stopped out because the stop would have been above this 30-minute candle. So it would have gotten stopped out. Yeah. Yeah. Good day today. US 30 is coming up to this area where it should reject and continue down. I mean, that's the idea. Ted Raja, why do you think people out there hate you so much? I mean, for me, you two seem legit. It is what it is. I don't want to go into the details with names and stuff like that, but I think when you get good enough or when you get big enough where you're making a concrete change in an industry, I think it just ruffles a few feathers there the way that it shouldn't.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really think that the younger generation has a problem with having others achieve success. And obviously, I'm a little bit older, but when I was in my 20s, I was happy when someone else was successful. I was looking to see them more look at like what are they doing to achieve that success. I never looked at what somebody made in terms of monetary value. Even when I started off in FX 5 years ago, the same, I guess, big players, as you call it, were there and they were ahead of us. Raja and I were talking about this last night, and I think Raja posted a little bit of this on his IG story. 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I was nobody. I was just a guy working in finance. I was working in an institution doing my thing. I was looking for a change. I was making good money, and I saw FX, and I wanted to learn FX because I was, I had a little bit of a background, and I just sort of went off and did my own thing. But I looked at all the people that or have been in the industry longer than me, that you could name all those people, everyone knows the bigger people, and I looked up to those people and I said, wow, they're doing really well, they're younger than I am and they're doing well. And I always correlated that with my friends who were playing poker online who were younger than me and they were doing well. So I always believed that younger people were smarter and faster and they were able to adapt better than say an older person. And it's the truth. And I looked at that and I never really complained about their success or said, hey, how come I'm not getting that, or why do they have what they have. I looked at it and said, hey, it's achievable. If I put in effort, I think I can achieve my own definition of success. And as we grew and people started to follow me, people asked me questions, I started to help people. I built a mentorship program. I helped a few hundred people how to trade. I've gone on social media, provided information. As my name grew, then people started coming at me for a reason, and I didn't understand that, because all I was trying to do was help other people. And I always looked at the community as like, hey, if I've got some insight, like why don't I pass that on to better traders so that they can learn more, and we can share information. But it's never been that way. And then I got trapped with fighting everybody. So back in like 2017, I took swings at everybody online because I was sick and tired of people bullying me, pushing me around, and trying to attack me. So I attacked everybody else, and it didn't get me anywhere. It didn't change the landscape. It didn't change anything that was going on. So I just left that, and I said to myself, I'll go do better things, and I'll focus on making sure that I'm doing the best that I can. And fast forward to 2020, you've got a live stream here, and you've got 22,000 people watching. It's been going on for 2.5 years now, and when you do something of this magnitude, people hate it because they feel that something's being taken away from them. And people have like very, very strong opinions, and they start fights, they create fake accounts to attack. And you look and you realize it's because nobody ever wanted to put in the work. Nobody wants to start at the bottom. They all want to start at the top. They all want to be successful. They all want to have a live stream that has 2,000 people, 20,000 views. They all want that from the beginning. And the people that started at the beginning, like I still remember the conversation Rakeel had with me 2 years ago about this. He said, Ted, I'm going to do a live stream on Twitch. And I'm like, why? That's ridiculous. And he's like, but it'd be fun because we talk trading all the time. So why don't we just do it online so everyone could just sort of look at charts and just see it real time? And I'm like, all right, well, let's give it a shot and like see what happens. And it ballooned from there. And now you come to today, and it's I look at the same thing, building a platform like a brokerage. I built it because I thought that I could do better than what was out there. And then I look and it's like people just hate it. They just don't like the fact that people worked hard to achieve success, and now they're struggling. So what do? They come out and they attack everybody because we've changed models. We've created disruption in the market where we genuinely enjoy trading. We genuinely enjoy making people's lives better. You come out to dinner with me, I pay for your dinner, not because I can, it's because it's enjoyable. It's fun to see people smile. It's fun to see people win. And the youth today, they just don't like that. They just feel that there's an ulterior motive, and everyone's so poisoned. And and they're so toxic with each other. You know, you look at people dating, and 5 minutes later they're dating somebody else because, oh, you know, like, I don't like this person, I don't like that. It's such a toxic environment, and I really feel sorry for people that are in their 20s. You have to go through such toxicity. I never went through that in my 20s. I had good people around me, and I just wanted to achieve. And now you have everybody attacking each other, everybody fighting. People have ulterior motives. I mean, yesterday I spent, you know, 6 hours arguing with somebody, and I find out that they're just building an affiliate program so that they can get paid. Like, there was no reason to hate on anything that I'm doing other than the fact that it'll draw attention to them, and they'll get customers. And of course they're going to get customers because there's people in their 20s that don't see the bigger picture, don't see the marketing behind what they're doing, and just look at things at face value. And it sucks, but I mean, at the end of the day, you learn very quickly who's actually trying to help you and who's actually there for ulterior motives. And I think in your 20s, if you can try and keep an objective mind and remove yourself from the toxicity, I think you'll live a more fulfilled life. It's very difficult in today's day and age, and I do agree with social media that it's hard, but really take a deep look at what people are doing and how they're doing it, and see if they really have your best interest in mind. Um, I think it's just really, really important. And I think as a group, this community can be very, very strong if people would stop trying to fight over pieces of a marketplace that's very, very big. There's no reason for someone to fight with someone else in this industry. It's really silly. And I sat last night and I always think about that to myself. It's like, man, like, why are you fighting with me? Like, you don't have to. Like, I'm happy that you're successful. I'm happy that you want to get to where you need to be. I'm already successful. I'm fine. Like, I'm really good. Like, but don't slander myself. Don't slander Rakeel. There's no reason to. I mean, there's no reason to slander people or to, you know, create false narratives and things like that. It doesn't make sense, and it's unfortunate that way.
Very well said. Very well said. Um, what if ranging is the new normal for GJ? Well, then it is what it is. Because right now we're just in a range now again. We're back in this range. Before, when we came in the range, there was some sort of a market structure here because, you know, price had cleaner moves for price to continue down. But now we're just back in this range now. I think it's becoming normal now.
Bullied in my 20s? No, I wasn't. I wasn't ever bullied. That's why it's confusing to me on why I get bullied now. I was never bullied because I didn't really do anything to bully people. Like, if I didn't like somebody, I just ignored them or walked away. Um, let's see. And there's also too. The other thing is too. You find that people, like, when you look at why somebody's angry or somebody's doing what they're doing, take a look at, there's probably more deep-rooted issues than what you see at face value. Anyone who posts like 100 stories in a day for like maybe a month, there might be a little bit more deep-rooted issues, other than, you know, validity, lack of engagement with, you know, other people, things of that nature. So just take things at face value. And I mean, mental health, I think, is very important. Um, I don't really stress myself out. I'm good. I want other people to learn from these opportunities, and I don't want them to really get stressed. Um, Let's see. Oh, Black Lives Movement. Do you still support the Black Lives Movement, knowing their motives about wanting to abolish capitalism and defund the police? Okay, so I support the movement where we have people that aren't treated equally or mistreated because of, you know, their race or their creed or religion. That's the movement I support. I don't believe that any one person is above somebody else, and I'll always speak to that. And I've spoken to that from day one. I grew up in a multicultural neighborhood. I grew up in a neighborhood with upper class, middle class, lower class people. We all got along. Um, and we all tried to help each other the best way that we could. You know, just because you don't have money doesn't mean you don't have value. And I think that's a societal thing where if you hang around with people that are poor, you'll see that, you know, a lot of them are very happy because they're very good at managing what they have, and they're not worried about what they don't have. And I learned that at a young age. A lot of my friends grew up with me. We weren't very well off, but you know, we played baseball with a bat and a tennis ball. Nobody had gloves. We used our hands. Like, we were good. You know, nowadays kids want, you know, full gear. Like, you know, you want a full riot gear set up to play baseball, or, you know, something like that. So it's one of those things. So yeah, that's the answer to that question.
I sent a message before where I said at 8:30 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern, PM Eastern has been strong momentum times this week. I'm thinking we might break out of the range now with this momentum. Any thoughts? I think you meant AM, right, Edward? Um, I guess. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Thinking we might break out of the range now with this momentum. Any thoughts? Yeah, I mean, you have to look at the volume times, right? Like first you have volume surge at pre-New York, where I took the trade here for sells pre-New York, and then you have volume at like New York Open, which opened like 47 minutes ago, and then the next you have NYC Open. So, you know, when you walk into a volume times like NYC Open at 9:30, then there's a chance price may break out of the range. If it doesn't break out of the range at that time, then there's going to be another volume surge at like closer to London close. So price may break out of the range during that time. You know, so if we've seen like last week GPJPY has just been ranging throughout pre-New York and New York, and then it has broken up after that time. You know, so those things do happen. You know, some people they stay on the charts till like, you know, London close, and sometimes they do catch those moves, and that's perfect. You know, like someone like me, I'm probably gonna end my day in about like 10 minutes. So if a move happens after that, then I might, you know, might miss that move. That's totally fine as well. But you're right. Like, you know, sometimes ranges break when there's high volume. So that's gonna come in like maybe NYC Open or London close. I cannot see the name of the person that was speaking before Raja in Zoom. Who was speaking? Oh, that was Ted. He's a new member here. Um, anything that could be done better. So you took a buy on your USD 30-minute chart. Possible entry if the 30-minute candle closes above the zone to go long. Oh, okay, you're looking for possible entries. Yeah, I think you can get like a retest around this area at the bottom here. At the same time, you'll have to look at maybe this area here. Oh, this is white. Probably not the best color to use. Maybe this area here would cause some sort of issues as price, you know, comes up. So I think it's going to be better. The thing is now you have a support over here and price is coming into this area, right? From what I've seen from my experiences, that if price is going to break this area, it'll need to create a support. If it creates a support, then that support will support the idea of price moving up and breaking out of this minor resistance that you have here. So I think that's going to be a good thing to wait for. Let's Let's take a look here. Euro USD. Oh wow, or it can just continue moving bullish. See, that's a problem. So this is the possible retest area, and as we continue moving up, yeah, see, it should kind of like do it like a retest over here and maybe continue down, or maybe form a support when it broke above this area here. So right now it gets a little too difficult. Wanted to share my good trade. Let's take a look here. This is, oh, buys. Waited for a rejection resistance for a better TP for buys. Okay, very good. I think it worked out here for you. Price did not break support, close above support, price start to move in. These are very nice annotations. Candle could not break previous high. Yeah, I think this was the sell I took earlier on. And we're moving back above 133,400 now, back at that level again. This 1 hour candle is now closing back above here, so you know, may seem like it may start to push up. No wonder why you pay for people at dinner. Actually, he doesn't let people pay. That's the whole problem. Like, never. Like I think I paid once. I paid once, and then he just doesn't let people pay. For some reason, the waitresses or the waiters, they always like they come
Yeah.
to you. They're like, "Here's the bill." And I'm like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
Don't we all seem important? The rest of us?"
Ted, can I get some love for US 30 trade I called when you said it was going down? Well, I didn't say it was going down. I said we have to break 25,531 and then we'll go down. But yeah, that's good. I'm glad that you didn't, that you took the buy and the buy worked out. I'm very happy for you. But I mean, we did talk about that, right? I think earlier what we said was we would put a buy stop above this area here, or we would try and take a sell below this area down to this point, and instead now we're up over here. So if you took that idea and ran with it, it was good. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, there's nothing there's nothing wrong with winning trades. Like I don't know what people want. People want clout that like they called a good trade. That's great. Congratulations. Like I mean, we're supposed to be winning. Like we're not supposed to be losing. it's, it's just really funny when people say that. They're like, "Hey, look at what I did. Be happy for me." I'm like, "Of course I'm going to be happy for you. You made money."
This was a good
Pe-
anticipation here.
Peter Luger Steakhouse. Okay, we'll check that.
Price came up, support formation, and continue to go up. Yep, I think that's how it should go. Come down and go up. I mean, US30 has its own different price action,
Hmm.
which
Yeah, I mean, I guess the news for ADP wasn't as bad as they thought it was, I guess, again. So that's why US 30's flying to the moon.
yeah, I mean, it wasn't negative. Like, you know, based
Yeah.
on the previous news, it was pretty good.
Could we have Christopher Terry of IML here on the stream?
Friday guest, for
Yeah,
sure.
Friday guest. I think he has his own stream. Doesn't he have like 80 million people underneath in this company or something like that? It's a massive amount of
Wow,
people.
that's a lot of people.
I think he has something like that.
80 million is a lot of people. That's like almost triple the population of Canada.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you're good at what you do, right?
Yeah.
I always find it remarkable when people are like, man, why is that guy doing that? And it's like, well, why are you guys supporting him? It's just like if you don't like it, don't support it. Like it's just pretty easy. But there's obviously people that like it. You know? It's like I don't like it. I just don't support it. I don't talk about it. You like it, go for it. You know. Wow, US 30 just flew right through.
Yeah, flowing very fast. There's some positive news on the vaccine too. I guess that's why.
Oh God.
This is what happens, you know. Things are gonna go bad, and automatically, oh, we got a vaccine coming in.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
guess
it's
ADP was good, so that's why things are moving again. Yeah, US 30, I think if you're in US 30, you got a good move up to 25,867. I think you're good there. Should have no problems.
Wow, 174-point move.
I know.
Here's the thing, once money became primary in people's lives and not value of people, it turned to shot. Oh, everyone is hating because of the narrative. You must have money to be valuable.
Well, I
Yeah,
think I think that's an interesting narrative that you need money to be valuable. I think people associate money with some sort of happiness. I think a lot of I always talk to people and I always ask people, when were the happiest times in your life? I guarantee you, if you look at back at the happiest times in your life, it wasn't when you were spending money. It was when you were experiencing something with like a close friend or a family member or someone you cared about. I think when you look back, I mean, obviously there's a people say, well, you needed money to get there, or if you're on vacation or something, but it was you're at a point where you're just spending time with somebody that impacts your life, that you care about or they care about you. It's not anything to do with the environment that you're in, it's who you're with. So I think that's where your true happiness lies. But I mean, that's
yeah. I mean, it's really hard to think of a time that made me happy when I really had money. Like most of the time, like happiness was just being with friends or like like doing something with like family. Because
yeah.
even if I think about like something I got when I had money, that happiness wasn't equals to the amount of happiness I had when, like with like friends or like with family stuff like that.
Yeah, like I mean, even like we go out for dinner. Like I mean, we go out for dinner. There's like 10 or 12 of us sitting at dinner. It's never about like what we're buying for dinner. It's more of like the conversations or the jokes. Like I mean, the dinner that we had last time, where like we were watching like those really random videos from one of our buddies. like I mean, you're just like, what is this guy doing? And you just started laughing. I mean, it was just really. I'll never forget that. I mean, every time I see him, I'm like, holy cow! I'm like,
It's in my
I can't
brain
believe.
now. I see,
Yeah,
I'm
it's in
like,
my brain.
oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, I mean, and we've had dinner with a lot of people too. Like a lot of people, that've come out. We've invited, like people have just randomly come out one night, and we've had dinner with them. And even like when we've been in Miami or other cities, and you have dinner with people and just hang out with them. It's just so fun to talk and hear like what people are doing, or how they're experiencing things. It has nothing to do with what we're eating. I mean, I've sat at McDonald's with people and just sort of hung out and talked, or in a food court. Like, I mean, it's no big deal. It doesn't bother me. It's more of like where everybody is.
GG has a 3 bullish momentum candle in the H4. Let's take a look at H4. Yeah, this is a very strong area, 133, 400. You can look left and you can see how many times this had problems with on the 4-hour time frame. You know what's really fantastic to have exactly the same fake out candles? Yeah, same style. I have 3 of them. It really helps me stay in concentrate. Wow. Oh, there we go. This is the start of the new 4-hour candle, start of the new 30-minute and a 1-hour candle, and 30 minutes still starting below 133, 400. Man, US 30 is living in its own little world. I just very hard to analyze US 30.
Well, I mean, it should top out. Like, I mean, I have a resistance at 25,867, and then my next resistance is at 26,000, basically. So, if we
Hmm.
get a good move up, I think this will push further. But I mean, there's a nice rejection at like 20, like right now, I guess. Well, yeah, we're in that zone. There's a zone on, yeah, this zone that we're in right now. So this is something that people should be aware of. If you're not looking at this, you got to pay more attention. This is a massive zone. Okay, so when you see this zone, this area here, at any given time, we can reject. So you can see where we're rejecting right now. So if you're in the trade right now, so if you took a buy and you're up here, you're now in no man's land, right? But you're okay because you'll place your stop over here and you'll let the trade do its thing. The issue now becomes, as a trader who's trying to enter this area, you have to be very cautious because we have to essentially push out of this area for us to create a new opportunity over here. So when you're entering in this trade here on this 30-minute candle, you have to be very cautious because the 30-minute candle could push all the way up to the top of this area, which is the top of this wick here, and could reject. I mean, is it likelihood going to happen? No, but that's something you have to keep in mind because we are pushing right now at that point. So if you are trading US 30, manage your trade and say, okay, once we get to this area here, there could be a massive pullback that stops me out as we start to try to get up to here again. So just really keep that in mind. And that's another way that you would manage your trade there.
Ooh, US 30 is pushing up, and GG is also trying to push up over here. This is my first chart and the trade I took today. Well, we can't see it. Oh wow, look at that. If even moves like these happen on GJ and US 30, I start to believe that they are directly correlated.
Yeah, I know. It's move exactly the same. Yeah, I guess now we're going to 26.20 on US 30. So if you're in, you're going to make good money today. Enjoy the ride up and just manage your trade with US 30. You might find at 9:30 there might be a whipsaw back down. So don't worry too much if you miss the move up here. You might get a next opportunity at 9:30. So in 30 minutes, this whole move could be corrected. So just be cautious. We've seen it happen enough times on the 30-minute candles that the 9:30 candle will pull whipsaw a bit before it continues its trend. So you might have an opportunity to get in again if you miss it. But if you're in right now, like I said, manage your trade. 26,000 is an easy target right now. 2620, 2610, you're good. I'm not trading it. I missed the opportunity, so I'll wait to see if there's one that pops up at 9:30 for me.
Oh wow, it's like galloping like a horse. Check the month of June, week by week, GJ and US 30 mirrored each other. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting. I think this may be that if the US 30 is coming up, it's affecting the yen to weaken, and that's pushing. But then at the same time, then your JPY should also push up. Oh, actually, it is. But please look at this. Okay, let's take a look at this. Oh, wow. Gold is now dropping down. I guess the news wasn't that good after all. No, that bad. Entry point, big arrow over here. I entered this buy trade yesterday at 132. Yesterday closed at 10 pips profit. How can you enter this trade yesterday? We have Glenn here, you're in New Zealand. Very nice, very nice. Oh, I think you sent this chart earlier for price to continue down. That's perfect. If you look left on US 30, this can easily come up towards 26,000, which is not that far away, which is like what, 8 points away? 6, 7, 60, 70. All right, it's 9 a.m. 9 a.m. Have to. All right, I'm gonna head off. Have to do some work. Have to start packing.
Enjoy.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Happy
Take,
Canada Day.
Yeah. Happy
take
Canada
care,
Day,
Raji.
everybody.
All right, man.
Take care,
Shukriya.
Kevin. Shukriya, shukriya. You were quiet today, man. Are you okay?
Yeah, just watching you guys.
Oh, nice. All right, everybody. Have a good day.
Yeah, man.
Take care, bro.
Take care. Take care.